This is a special report from About Space Today.
Welcome to Special Report. I'm David Denault. Well, many of you have already taken your vacation or holiday. Well, today I want to share what I learned after traveling the Southwest, 4 states that have unexplained mysteries. Now, I'm an outdoorsman. I like to camp and canoe and backpack and explore as I travel. And I've even hiked New Mexico's Sangre de Cristo Mountains and climbed to the summit of Mount Phillips at 12,200 feet. Now, the Native American people of New Mexico who live there tell of strange beings who came from the stars.
New Mexico. The name conjures images of vast deserts, ancient ruins, and vibrant cultures. But beneath its rugged beauty lies another layer, one that sends shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical. New Mexico is a land where the veil between our world and the unknown seems thin. Strange lights dance in the night sky, unexplained sounds reverberate through the canyons, and shadowy figures flit at the edge of perception. From Native American legends to modern-day UFO sightings, these tales have captivated generations. The history of New Mexico is a rich tapestry woven from the threads of many cultures. Native American tribes, Spanish conquistadors, Mexican settlers, and American pioneers have all left their mark on this land. For the Pueblo people, who have called New Mexico home for centuries, the natural world is imbued with spiritual significance. They believe in the presence of spirits, both benevolent and malevolent, that inhabit the land. Their stories speak of shape-shifting creatures, ancient guardians, and portals to other realms. Tales of haunted missions, cursed treasures, and the restless souls of conquistadors still echo through the centuries. It's as if the land itself is a repository of memories, a canvas upon which the hopes, fears, and beliefs of countless generations have been etched. Why New Mexico? Why does New Mexico seem to be such a hotbed of paranormal activity? Is there something unique about this land? Something that attracts the strange and unexplained? Some theories suggest that the state's geology might play a role. New Mexico is located on a major fault line, and some believe that the Earth's electromagnetic energy is amplified in such areas, creating a kind of psychic gateway. If places can indeed absorb energy, then New Mexico, with its millennia of human stories, both joyous and tragic, would be a veritable powerhouse. Perhaps it's this very atmosphere, this palpable sense of the unknown, that draws both the curious and the skeptical to New Mexico's enigmatic landscape. Whether you believe in ghosts, UFOs, or the power of ancient legends, there's no denying that New Mexico holds a certain allure for those who dare to look beyond the veil of the ordinary. The stories will be told and retold, passed down like precious heirlooms, ensuring that the legend of this enchanted land with all its mysteries and wonders lives on.
And as I traveled, I noticed there was a point on the map that showed a historical marker indicating the Southwest Four Corners states. It's located in the American Southwest, and I found a story about them. What's interesting is pieced together Hopi and Zuni folklore with eyewitness accounts to unlock the secrets of the Four Corners and its supposed history of extraterrestrial influence. Next, as America and the world is listening to About Space Today. Ever dream of an island getaway at an all-inclusive resort? Or going on an island-hopping cruise to multiple island destinations? See sun-bleached beaches and swim in the azure waters of the Caribbean Sea. Call today for your special discount prices to your island getaway. This is a special offer for About Space by calling 877-747-8631. And let's go and explore the islands of the Caribbean. Welcome back. It is believed that these intricate tunnels of an ancient cave system throughout the area have been used for sacred ceremonies, a system that stretches over 4 states. Geologist and New York Times best-selling author Greg Brendan explains what they found.
What we found in these areas, not so much that there is a hollow space under the desert, but there is a tunnel system, a network that connects many of the indigenous traditions in this part of the world from the area in southwestern Colorado, northern New Mexico, down towards Wild Horse Mesa. And it is this natural system of caverns that the native people say many of their traditions relate to. So they were created naturally through volcanic environments, and then they were modified to become more useful over later generations. But what the ancestors say is that in the past, this is where people have lived. When the cataclysms of the past destroyed the surface of the earth.
Could this be true? Many of these underground caverns in North America are located in the Four Corners region, where Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico meet. Billy Carson entails his personal encounter at the Four Corners area.
It appears that a lot of this activity and a lot of these tunnels congregate close to this Four Corners area. Now, there's well-known stone-based stargates, is what the ancient Indians call them, and now the modern Indians are saying these are where their relatives used to go and put their heads in and actually chant some words and disappear. And then some of them will return. The way the grid system runs across the Earth, there are several places that are just like heavily energetic nodes. You'll find on many of these reservations and other holy lands held by natives that military groups have gone in and built facilities and made them off limits. Most of the time, these are actual entrances to this cavern system that honeycombs the entire Earth. A lot of these places are sacred to natives because they have stories going back many millennia of different types of beings taking them below the earth before cataclysms to protect them, and these are the same beings that after the cataclysm would bring them back to the surface of the earth to help them set up their civilizations again. A lot of these areas that the military will lock down are also very strong vortexes, which basically are nodes in this cosmic web Stargate system. These are places that the military lock down because they don't want you to see what's coming and going through these gates.
A lockdown? If this is true, who or what could be traveling through these gates or underground caverns? Next, Nevada. It's a state known for secrets and its vast deserts, and now there are several real unexplained mysteries. Nevada's Area 51 may have its secrets, but there are anomalies near the military Nevada test range. And with the help of Mark Mysteries, I'll share two of the real unexplained mysteries. First, an ever-expanding hole in the ground.
The Devil's Throat, the sinkhole that shouldn't exist. Some places are born broken, torn open by something we can't see, a weakness in the earth, or in the rules that hold it together. In southern Nevada, not far from the old nuclear test sites, there's a hole in the ground called the Devil's Throat. It doesn't lead to hell, but people who've stood near it say it feels like it does. And the deeper you look into it, the less sense it makes. In the 1940s, aerial surveys spotted a small depression in the desert north of Lake Mead. At first, it was ignored. The land was already damaged from nearby detonations. A cracked surface was nothing new, but the hole didn't stay small. By the 1970s, it had become a sinkhole roughly 20 feet wide and 30 feet deep. Today it's grown to more than 200 feet across and nearly 100 feet deep, with no water, no seismic activity, and no collapse zones around it. It's expanding, quietly, consistently, and no one knows why. Locals started calling it the Devil's Throat in the late 80s, not because of its size, but because of how it feels to stand near it. Hikers and desert explorers who visited the site reported sudden nausea, pressure in the ears, a buzzing sensation in their feet, cameras malfunctioning, radios picking up static or unknown transmissions. One geophysicist who visited the throat in 1994 wrote in his journal, "The closer I got, the more my instruments drifted off their baselines. My altimeter read negative elevation. My compass pointed sideways." He abandoned the study after his data was corrupted. Every reading turned to 0 after being saved. A year later, he died of a stroke at age 42. In 2013, a desert explorer known online only as Rensfield uploaded a video from the Devil's Throat. No talking, just footage. He approached the rim with a GoPro and left an audio recorder lowered 30 feet into the sinkhole. In the audio, you can hear wind, then silence, then something else. A low-frequency hum, irregular, not mechanical, almost like breathing, but too deep, like a room inhaling. At the 2:12 mark, there's a whisper. Not in English, a sound that doesn't match any natural pattern. Then the audio cuts. Rensfield posted the file to a forum. 36 hours later, his YouTube account was deleted. Forum admins said the file vanished from their server. Rensfield hasn't posted since. Satellite photos show the sinkhole widening by inches each year, but it's never been fenced. No official warnings, no geological studies, just a sign that reads, "Hazardous area, do not approach." But people still do. In 2018, 2 amateur hikers tried to rappel down using climbing gear. They made it about 50 feet before one of them panicked, claiming he saw walls moving below him. He climbed out shaking. The second man stayed for 90 more seconds. When he emerged, he was confused. His watch said 4 hours had passed. He thought he'd been down there for 2 minutes. Neither of them will speak publicly anymore. Sinkholes usually form from 3 things: water erosion, fault lines, or subsurface mining. But the Devil's Throat has none of those. No caverns beneath it, no mining history, no groundwater. It's in the middle of a geologically dead zone, and yet it keeps growing. And strange things keep happening around it. A tourist in 2021 claimed she heard her own voice calling her name as she approached the rim. Another reported seeing her own face reflected in the sand below, but her reflection blinked out of sync. Sounds, lights, time slips, tech failures, all in a perfect circle. In the middle of nowhere, there's no bottom to the Devil's Throat. That's not a metaphor. Geologists haven't mapped it fully. No one's been able to scan the lowest point, because instruments fail below 70 feet. Something about that space seems to push back. And the more we study it, the more it studies us. A hole that eats sound, time, signals, and maybe memory itself. And yet, it's not the only place in Nevada where silence has a shape, where the air bends back at you.
The Southwest is scattered with ghost towns and lots of stories, but this town in Nevada is very different.
Nevada is full of ghost towns. Most are just ruins, relics of gold, silver, and broken promises. But some feel like they're still alive, waiting, listening, or in the case of one small place, hiding something no one has been able to explain. This is the story of Ione, a mining town with real records and a missing history. Ione was established in 1863. By 1864, it had over 600 residents. Saloons, a newspaper, a courthouse. For a short time, it was the county seat of Nye County. Then something strange happened. In official government records, Ione appears regularly until 1872. After that, nothing. No census, no tax documents, no property records. For 12 full years, it vanishes from the state archives, as if the town and its people were erased. In 1884, Ione shows up again, a population of 150, fewer buildings, a smaller town, but with no explanation for what happened in between. No one documented a disaster. There's no mention of fires, floods, or famine, not even in personal letters or newspaper clippings, just a quiet gap in time, like the town pressed pause, then hit play again. Locals don't talk about it. Most won't even visit the ruins now, and the ones who do say something still lingers. In 1971, 2 college students from the University of Nevada set out to investigate Ione. They brought notebooks, a tape recorder, and a tent. Their goal was to document acoustic phenomena, odd reports of echo distortion and voice delay near abandoned mining towns. They set up camp near the old post office ruins. According to their logs, the first night was quiet, but on the second night, one of them woke up at 2:13 a.m. to laughter, children. Distant at first, then right behind the tent wall. He stepped outside. His partner was gone. 6 hours later, the missing student was found sitting upright inside the tent, asleep, but with mud on his hands and no shoes. When he woke up, he had no memory of the night before, no recollection of leaving, no injuries, but he kept repeating one phrase. It wasn't silence, it was waiting. Their tape recorder was still running. In the playback, normal wind, the sound of the tent zipper. Then, a delay. The voice on the tape starts answering questions before they're asked, words echoing backwards. And near the end, a whisper. Why are you still here? Over the years, more people have reported strange acoustics in Ione. Shouts that never bounce back. Footsteps that arrive before the person does. Wind that changes direction, mid-sentence. Voices that repeat exactly. 7 seconds later, a sound engineer who visited in 1996, brought a digital reverb sensor. He reported fluctuations he couldn't explain, a dropout zone in front of the courthouse ruins. His final report simply read, "The silence isn't passive, it's structured." He never went back. Some believe Ione sits on a natural acoustic anomaly, an underground formation that warps vibration. Others say it's psychological, desert madness, or maybe mass suggestion, but the land is dry, stable, geologically boring. So why are people still disappearing in sound? In 2015, a photographer claimed her voice recorder captured her humming before she pressed record. Another visitor said he heard a child yell, "You're not supposed to be here," just before he passed out. He woke up 3 miles from his car, missing 3 hours. Ione has no fences, no security, just sand, wood, and broken glass. But something about it feels preserved, like a memory that doesn't want to be remembered. The missing records, the voices, the time gaps. This town didn't die. It folded for 12 years, and maybe longer. What happens to a town when sound bends, when time slips, when the silence listens back? And what happens to the people who stay long enough to hear what it's really saying?
And then there's Arizona, where my family and I spent the summer of 1963 in Tucson. And I remember a story in the Arizona Daily Sun, news about strange objects hovering over a Titan II missile silo that was being constructed. And scattered about are abandoned towns like Old Tucson, Tombstone, and Virginia City, where the famous Morgan silver dollars were first minted. And I remember driving along, seeing these mountains, and hearing the tale of the Lost Dutchman's mine and more.
We're delving into the legend of the Lost Dutchman's gold mine. Hidden in the rugged Superstition Mountains east of Phoenix lies a secret that has driven men mad with greed. The Lost Dutchman mine, named for Dutch prospector Jacob Waltz, is said to be brimming with gold. Waltz stumbled upon the mine in the 1800s, keeping its location secret until his deathbed. Treasure hunters, armed with maps and dreams, have spent lifetimes scouring the Superstition Mountains. Is the Lost Dutchman's mine real, a glittering prize, or a fool's errand in the unforgiving desert? The Phoenix Lights. It was a clear evening when a series of lights, unlike anything anyone had ever seen before, appeared in the sky above Phoenix. These weren't your typical twinkling stars or streaking meteors. These were massive, silent orbs of light moving in formation, their glow illuminating the desert night. Eyewitnesses described the lights as being enormous, some estimating them to be as large as football fields. They moved silently and effortlessly across the sky, hovering for a time before vanishing as quickly as they had appeared. Was it a mass hallucination, a meteor shower seen from an unusual angle, or could it have been something more extraordinary, a visit from extraterrestrial visitors?
And I even got to do some gold panning in one of the creeks in Arizona. And you probably and undoubtedly heard of Skinwalker Ranch. But did you know there is a similar ranch like that near Sedona, Arizona?
In the mystical red desert of Sedona, Arizona, amid the enchanting landscapes and swirling vortex energies, lies the enigmatic Bradshaw Ranch. This piece of land has earned a reputation as a vortex of mysterious occurrences, paranormal phenomena, and a complex history that goes beyond the usual. Sedona is considered to have the highest amount of UFO sightings in the world. And many of these sightings were observed at the Bradshaw Ranch, just 7 miles west of Sedona. The ranch became popular since 1960s, and many Western movies were filmed there, including the famous Elvis Presley and John Wayne. However, it was in 1990s when the ranch gained notoriety under the ownership of Bob Bradshaw, a popular Hollywood actor and a stuntman. He and his wife Linda sought refuge in the serenity of Sedona, hoping to escape the hectic pace of urban life. Little did they know that the tranquility they sought would later be shattered by inexplicable events that would turn the ranch into a hotbed of paranormal activity. As he delved into the mysteries of the universe, strange occurrences began to unfold on the ranch. Lights danced in the night sky, cattle mutilations became alarmingly frequent, and bizarre symbols appeared etched into the rocks. Bradshaw Ranch became a magnet for UFO enthusiasts, paranormal investigators, and conspiracy theorists. The ranch's reputation as a hotbed of extraterrestrial activity grew, and tales of encounters with otherworldly beings circulated like whispers in the desert wind. The Bradshaws themselves claimed to have experienced close encounters with unidentified flying objects, and even asserted that they had communicated with beings from beyond. The ranch's reputation for perplexing phenomena extended beyond UFO sightings. Visitors reported strange energy vortexes, time distortions, and hundreds of unexplained lights that danced among the red rocks. Some spoke of encountering interdimensional beings, Yeti and dinosaurs, while others claimed to have glimpsed portals to alternate realities. Local Native American tribes, deeply connected to the spiritual energy of the land, spoke of the ranch as a place of power and warned of the potent forces that lay beneath the surface. The convergence of ancient wisdom and modern mysticism added layers of complexity to the enigma of Bradshaw Ranch. In the late 1990s, the Bradshaws decided to sell the ranch, perhaps weary of the constant scrutiny and unending stream of paranormal incidents. The rumors were that the government purchased the ranch and that there were hidden military bases under the ground, interconnected with miles of underground tunnels. Access to the ranch became increasingly restricted as rumors circulated that the government was involved in clandestine operations on the property. Many trespassers and bloggers claimed that they were chased away by unidentified soldiers, heavily armored and wearing black uniforms. Others said that the area was patrolled by black helicopters that appeared from nowhere.
So the next time you're traveling in the Southwest, you'll be able to share the unusual and unexplained in each state, whether it's Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, or Nevada. Stories of the ancients have been passed down by Native Americans to their children and children's children about these strangers who came from the sky or from underground. Somehow their stories relate to what we would call aliens, those not from Earth. And if you like our program, click like, follow, and subscribe to About Space Today News. Thank you for taking time to join me from your home or from where you work. I'm David Denault.
This has been a special report from About Space Today.